Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Johnny Vlogs. Before we get into a bit of the happier news in today's episode, I did want to leave a final update. A lot of commenters have been talking about it, and I've even gotten some email from some people just confirming that the remains that were found that we mentioned might be Jonathan Shay, who we featured on Searchlight I think about 2 months ago. They have confirmed that those remains are Jonathan Shay, according to forensic confirmation, and I believe they use dental records. I have a news article I'm going to put down in the description box so you can read that. But yeah, so just so everyone out there knows, and we make it very clear, of course, our hearts are very heavy to report this, but Jonathan Shay has, the remains of Jonathan have been found, so kind of a tragic end to a case, and I hope that we see a lot of cases that end in different ways from Searchlight. That one was just really hit me kind of rough because the remains were found so close to when we aired the episode, and I was hopeful that we might be able to help in that case. But if you do want to help, well, check out the Jonathan Shay, Find Jonathan Shay Facebook page. They are holding a celebration, it looks like, on April 23rd, a celebration of Jonathan, they're calling it, starting at 1 p.m. There's more details there if you want to see where it's going on. Apparently they were accepting donations to help with the burial expenses, but now, according to this last Facebook post, it looks like they may have run into some issue with accepting donations, so I'm not positive if they are or not, but you can check facebook.com/Find Jonathan Shay and get all the details there if you do want to try to contribute in some way. So outside of that, let me just say it is so nice to be home. And it's weird because I found a place that we're going to be moving to, and you guys are pretty awesome because no one really asked, and I thought, well, as soon as I start talking about moving, someone's going to ask where I'm going. We are actually going to wind up in Minnesota, and going from Southern California to Minnesota is going to be a bit of a not just a culture shock. Honestly, I think that's going to be the easy part to handle, because from what I gather, people out there are extremely nice, very personable. It's very easy to talk to people out there. Strangers seem very courteous. I think that part's going to be easy, but of course I hear a lot about the weather and just moving to an environment where they have serious snow. So personally, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Where I live right now, it gets so warm that for a lot of the months you basically get locked up in your house because it's just too hot to even go outside. So I think we're going from one juxtaposition to the other, but I'm really looking forward to just having a change and trying this out. I'll be closer to some very good friends of mine that I've known for a long time, so I'm really looking forward to spending more time with them. And who knows where else we can go from there. I do have an office planned for there, and as I mentioned, the background is certainly going to change. And that's just one of a few changes. I know I mentioned in last week's video that we're going to be starting up a podcast as well. I've got some other things in the plan. So, speaking of last week, this is really weird because last week I posted a video, admittedly it was shot a few weeks before, but I posted a video celebrating hitting our 8,000 mark. And this week I am now posting a video celebrating we hit our 9,000 mark, and we're still growing pretty strong. I believe this happened because BuzzFeed did a story on it, Elisa Lam, and of course, BuzzFeed has millions and millions of subscribers. The story seemed to do pretty well for them, and I think that Brain Scratch might have been one of the options that came through at the end of their story, so people could click through to learn more about Elisa. So for all you new subscribers out there that found me through BuzzFeed, thank you so much for joining and checking it out. And this pretty much doubled my subscriber count for the past month from what it usually is. Now, it does look like it's tapering off. There's some spikes kind of happening, but I could really see the surge around when BuzzFeed released that story. So kind of a cool side effect. And of course, I'm happy to have all of you here, and that's bringing us very close relatively quickly to 10,000 subscribers, which is kind of a landmark number for me. It's also a landmark number in terms of YouTube because it starts opening you up to different types of services of theirs. For instance, if you're close to YouTube studios like they have in LA and I believe New York, you can use their studio facilities. Leave it to me to actually move away from being close to the facility once I hit that landmark. But to be honest, I don't think I really need their studio for the type of stuff I do. I need to be close to my research and my computer and just have you guys right here with me. So that is big news this week. It was such a quick acceleration to 9,000. It was just amazing. So thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of this channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. And just know that I missed you guys. This process is part of my daily life, you know. Monday through Friday, I'm working on creating content for you guys, and it was really strange to have to kind of create some content ahead of time and then essentially take last week off, even though I was really working very hard trying to find our next home. But it's nice to be back. It's nice to have all these messages to go through. I'm still catching up on some of them. Of course, there's an amazing amount of posts. I'm going to do my best to read as many of those as possible. I think I've gotten back to all my emails, but if there's a few still lingering, just sit tight. I will get back to you. And I believe that the first broadcast actually aired about my story of the holistic doctors on Dark Matter Radio, because I've been contacted by a producer of another show to do another interview. And this show, I don't think I'll spill the details on it yet until that's all firmed up. But bit of history behind this show, which is kind of cool, and I really hope it comes together so I can do that. Outside of that, I was contacted by another show to do a follow-up on Elisa Lam. So a lot more radio interviews coming up. Hopefully you guys will check those out. Like I said, I'll be sure to include the links once I get them. I probably should have looked and seen if there was one posted for this one I just did on In Other News with Jeff Brady, but I just didn't have a chance before I started the camera. I was so excited to come back and talk to you guys. So finally, our other last piece of business, lingering from last week's vlog, I did go through all of your comments on JohnnyVlogs. And it seems like you guys have been very supportive of a fifth show. Some of you don't even care what it is. You just, I guess you just like hanging out with me. So I love hearing that. But outside of that, many of you thought having more geek-centric content, kind of where I started this whole YouTube thing, was definitely not a problem. And you certainly thought that it could roll in with the existing channel. There was only, I think I only saw one comment, maybe two at the most, that thought that I might split that into a new channel. So for now, it's going to stay all Geek and Dorks, and the new geek-centric show will be starting very, very soon, possibly next week. I got to see if I can get something in for you guys by next week, but if not, I'm fairly confident that it will start within the next 2 weeks. So someone actually had a kind of cool suggestion about Geek and Dork, you know, like calling the show Geek and Dork to kind of make sense of my channel name a little bit. I really liked that. I do like Geek Corner, but what I was thinking was maybe I'll have some kind of logo that is a street sign with two street names and have Geek as one of the street names and Dork as the other. Something along those lines. But once again, I really love it when I put it out to you guys and I get such great feedback, awesome ideas. You guys are so supportive whenever I ask for your help, and I truly, truly appreciate that. It's really cool, and it really helps validate the way that I'm trying to go about this YouTube stuff and make sure that your needs are being taken care of while I'm getting to do things that I'm motivated to do. So very, very cool. Thank each and every one of you that replied to that last edition of JohnnyVlogs. I truly appreciate it. Speaking of which, if you have any other input, that's what the comments are for below. I'm looking forward to catching up on everyone's comments from last week. You know, I don't know what you guys thought of the brain scratch update yet. I know that those are some touchy subjects, so I'm going to spend some time going through those comments and just looking forward to kind of getting back on the horse. This is going to be a bit challenging because now, you know, there's some stuff I have to do to coordinate this cross-country move, and at some point I'm going to be in a car for a number of days, so I'm going to have to either do another bunch of work where I do some episodes ahead of time and release them to you guys slowly, or I'm considering, here's your question for this week, awesome Geek and Dorks audience. I'm considering doing a show of my travel across the country, because I know I'm going to do this drive at least once, probably actually twice. I'll get into the details more with you guys later, but it has to do with being an awesome cat guardian. But I will be doing it once on my own, and I was thinking, hey, I could just bring a camera with me and maybe shoot a segment each day, upload it that night while I'm in a hotel. So that's my question to you. Would you guys be interested in seeing John's big cross-country drive for a week instead of the usual content, or do you think it'd be better for me to try to preload some episodes of the usual content and then essentially kind of disappear for the week and kind of like what happened last week? Okay, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate each and every one of you out there, and I hope you're having an amazing week. I'll catch you on the next show on the Geek and Dorks channel. Take care.